Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Ultimate Bucket List, and on today's show, I'm here at the home of Atletico de Madrid. Atletico de Madrid, one of the powerhouses of European football. Probably not as famous or as successful as their city rivals, that doesn't mean that they're not a good football club themselves, especially after the changing club fortunes led by iconic manager Diego Simeone. What's also iconic is their new stadium, the Estadio Metropolitano. Originally built to attract the Olympic Games to Madrid, it's now been converted for use for football full-time. Originally built in 1990, renovated in 2017 with a capacity crowd of 70,460, it's one of the most modern stadiums in all of Europe. This is one of the biggest football stadiums that I've ever been to. So what's it like to actually walk around and do a tour? Let's find out. Well, firstly, it's impossible to miss. Especially if you've used the metro system to get here, they literally have their own station right outside the stadium. And the stadium itself, whilst it's absolutely massive, is surrounded by all this park space. So even if you don't want to go inside the stadium, you can walk, cycle, exercise around here, etc. If you've got here a little bit early, like I have, be sure to wander around the exterior of the stadium. It's here that you'll find plenty of places to eat and drink. If you're looking for tickets for an actual game, you'll need to go to the ticket office right outside here. And when you walk around the upper concourse, you'll see various cool bits also, such as the statue of club legend Luis Aragonés, the Walk of Fame, where there are plaques on the floor commemorating some of their best ever players. There's also two cool photo opportunities around here, such as the big giant Atleti sign and the giant sign of the club slogan right here. If you've got time, be sure to check out the club shop, where you can buy their iconic red and white striped kits, their away kit this season, which kind of looks like they've gone all Blackburn Rovers, and overall it's a pretty cool place to shop. But the start of the stadium tours is outside gate number W2, where it says Territorio Atleti. Once you've bought your ticket and checked yourself in, the first place the tour starts is actually the underground car park, which kinda looks like a bit of an art gallery. You'll find giant pictures of some of their best ever players, and it flanks onto the entrance to the presidential box, which is highlighted in bright red here, and because it's Christmas, an Atletico Madrid decorated Christmas tree. It's also here where you'll find the players' entrance, and I do like the red carpet and the red and white striped road that leads to the presidential box. That's the entrance for the VIPs, but our entrance actually takes us to the upper walkway that leads into the presidential box itself. And boy, this is a massive box. It's lavishly decorated, and around you'll see plenty of game-worn memorabilia in these display cabinets. There's a lot for you to walk around. It's really nicely presented up here, and it's easily one of the largest lounges that I've been to in terms of football stadiums. It's cool to see where all the VIPs eat and drink and congregate, etc. But once you've finished having a look at rich person's facilities that you'll probably never actually visit yourself, it's time to go into the presidential box itself. As you walk out, you'll see the best possible view of the stadium. And it's up here where you realise, holy crap, this place is massive. Yes, it holds 70,000 people, there are stadiums that hold more, but this stadium is super imposing. Here in the presidential box, you'll be treated to some of the nicest seats that you'll ever sit in, and each seat comes with its own TV screen to watch instant replays and analysis, etc. There's a great view of the stadium everywhere around here, so be sure to take your time admiring these seats, admiring the view, admiring the sheer luxury of this presidential box. Now, my seats at Old Trafford are nothing like this. I mean, look at these seats. They are so comfortable. I definitely could get used to this. As a person who spends most of a season sitting in a very cramped seat in a very cramped stadium, it's actually refreshing to sit in a seat that fits my fat ass that also comes with a plethora of legroom. Anyway, once you're done with that, feel free to leave the presidential box and meander down the stairs to the reception area, where you'll find this bust of Diego Simeone, boo, before moving on to the media area. This is where the players are usually interviewed, but because you're on a stadium tour, they've put a green screen up so they can take pictures of you with your favourite players, and there's also a virtual reality experience, where you can experience what it's actually like around here on a typical match day. And yes, I'm aware that I look like a pillock with this thing on my head. But anyway, once you've had enough of that, it's time to go into the tunnel area. It's probably one of the biggest tunnel areas I've ever seen, beautifully branded of course, and it leads onto the tunnel, which is a big giant staircase. And once again, beautifully branded and incredibly cool to go down. Once you walk through the tunnel, you'll get this incredible view pitch side. And word of warning, don't ever step on the logo, they get quite angry if you do that. But whilst you're out here, be sure to take as many photos and videos as you can of this lovely view. And if it wasn't an imposing stadium from up high, it definitely is from down here. You also get to check out the dugout area and, hello! What can I say, I'm a sucker for a lady in red. Where was I? Oh yeah, the dugout seats. So be sure to check out the dugout seats and take your time taking some cool photos. I think I'm sat in Mr. Simeone's seat today, so that's good. Once you're done with that, it's time to walk back up the tunnel, back up the stairs, and back through the tunnel area. Be sure to take lots of photos of the logos, etc. before you get to enter into the players' dressing room. Now this is one of the nicest, most modern football dressing rooms I've ever been into. You've got the players' details on the TV screens here, the players' shirts hanging directly below, and each individual player area has its own lockers, its own storage bays, which are pretty interesting to look at. It obviously provides you some excellent photo and video opportunities, so be sure to ask the staff to help you take photos and videos, they're pretty happy to do so. Once you leave the dressing room, it's time to go into the press conference theatre. And when I say theatre, I mean theatre. It's absolutely massive. Up at the press conference desk here, you can take photos and videos of course, but this place is the size of an auditorium. You get to explore yet another VIP box, very swanky of course, before exiting back out over the VIP underground car park. But that's not all, because as part of your tour, you get to go into the Atletico de Madrid Museum. What a museum this place is! If you don't know any history about Atletico de Madrid, you can certainly learn about it here. The first thing you'll notice is that it's a very interactive museum, and there's lots of exhibits where you can test out your skills, compete with your friends, and pretend that you're better than the players on the field. I particularly like this history of Atletico de Madrid kits, and it shows you basically a timeline of the evolution of their famous red and white kits. There's another VR bit where you can relive some of the most iconic matches in Atletico history. Once again, I know I look like a pillock, but I don't care, I'm having a good time. And overall, this museum is actually quite enthralling. One of the best football museums I've ever been to. To complete your experience, you'll actually walk through the Atletico de Madrid trophy room. And it's easy to forget that they've actually won quite a lot of things. More so than you think. Well, it's definitely bigger than Tottenham's trophy room. After you've left the trophy room, that is pretty much the end of the tour. But guys, you'll have an amazing time here if you do take a stadium tour here at Atletico de Madrid. So guys, I've just finished the tour here at Atletico de Madrid, and I've got to say, it's definitely a lot better than the Real one. Seriously, you got to see a lot more stuff. The people were a lot nicer, and in general, it was a more pleasant experience. So Ninh, whereabouts in the hierarchy of your stadium tours does this go? Very, very highly actually. I'm literally putting it at the number 3 spot. It's a very nice stadium, the branding is on point, there's lots of things to see and do, and the staff were very, very nice and helpful. They also encourage you to take as many photos and videos as you like, and there's definitely no restrictions here, unlike some other clubs that I've visited. Complete with the museum, which is one of the best I've ever seen, the ease of getting there, the nice flow of the tour, and the interactivity of it all, this definitely scores highly. If you had a choice between going to Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid just for a stadium tour, I recommend coming to this one. I know Real Madrid have recently renovated their stadium and it's super modern now, but the tour is pretty much exactly the same, and you'll have a much better time here at the Metropolitano Stadium. By the way, if you do want to know what the Real Madrid tour was actually like, please be sure to check out my other video here. Okay Ninh, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you'll need to come here to the Estadio Metropolitano. It's dead easy to find, it's located on the east side of Madrid, and to get here, the easiest way is to use the metro. It has its own metro station, so that's pretty much the easiest one. There are other metro stations around that you can use, but the one that's next to the stadium is probably the easiest one to use. The cost? It was just over €20, which I think is pretty good value for money. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes, this is a massive stadium and you'll be walking forever, so please be sure to wear comfortable shoes and take your time. You'll also be climbing a lot of stairs, so please bear this in mind also. If you are coming to Madrid, check out my Madrid City Guide here, and if you want to come to any of the matches, check out my match day guides here. But overall guys, a trip to the Estadio Metropolitano definitely comes recommended, especially if you're here visiting Madrid or if you generally just like football. If you have enjoyed this video guys, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Comment on that comment section below, and if you've got any other bucket list ideas you want me to do, tweet them at me. If I get enough suggestions, I'll go ahead and do that. But guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. The easiest way to use the map. And to get here, the fit and finish of everything is absolutely perfect. I mean, what else would you expect from a new stadium? But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it here. Overall guys, if you are a fan of Atleti, or if you're just in Madrid and you want to do a football tour, this one definitely does come highly recommended.